What's up, YouTube? It feel good to be back. Sorry for neglecting this channel, but I just recently got a request from somebody asking me to explain my strategy a little bit more in depth and show exactly what indicators that I use. All right, so I'm gonna start off by saying that with the strategy that I use, it's pretty effective in passing these 50K combine challenges within 2 days. I could show you like my actual P&L for my most recent combines. I got 2 funded accounts. With the 50K combines, you basically just got to make $3,000. Shows you right here, 2 days. All right, so basically I'm gonna show y'all like the P&L. Basically, you got to make $3,000 and maintain a 50% consistency rate. So in order to do that and pass the combine challenges in 2 days, which you can see it right here, it says I passed in 2 days. So in order to have a 50% consistency rate, you got to make 1,500 both days in order to pass it in 2 days. So I made 1,480 right here, and then I made 1,531 right here for this combine. This is another combine that I ended up passing in 2 days. It says it right here, 2 days. Profit was 3,000. I made 1,508 the first day, and then I made 1,528 the next day. So the strategy that I use is very simple. All I do is I use the opening range breakout method, aka the ORB method. I'm gonna show you on the charts. Basically, the ORB method is this. When you trade a session, basically all you have to do is wait 15 minutes for the chart to show you what the opening movement is looking like. All you really got to do is mark up the lowest point of that opening movement and mark up the highest point of that opening movement. And all you're really doing is waiting for price to break out of that range. The strategy is literally self-explanatory. Whether the price breaks out of that range and continues to the upside or continues to the downside, it doesn't matter. All you're trying to do is see where price is going. And basically, it also tells you when not to take a trade as well, because if price stays within this range, it's basically just consolidating. So basically, when price is consolidating, you don't want to take trades. It's a strategy that I would say is very effective, and like I said, it works 3 ways, because price is either going to do one of 3 things. It's either going to go up, go down, or trade sideways, and this strategy basically tells you all 3. All right, so when price continues to the downside or the upside, all you're really trying to do is wait for a candle to form that closes below this range if you're taking shorts, or wait for a price to close above this range if you're taking longs. So it's basically a very easy strategy, but I'm gonna show you the indicators that I use to make it even easier. If you look at my chart, you can see I clearly got the VWAP, which is this yellow line, and I got the moving average price, which is this purple bar, what is purple squiggly line. Those are 2 indicators that I always use, but I like to use the volume profile fixed range. Basically, all that does is show you the volume. That's these bars right here, the green and red bars. So, you know, if there's volume, that basically indicates volatility. If there's volatility, that means that price is moving. And if there's a lot of volatility and a lot of movement, that basically just means that, you know, you can end up catching a nice size trade if you really want to trade that day. But if there's no volume, you know that price is pretty much ranging and consolidating, and it might not be a good time to take a trade. So, you know, I basically just use the volume profile fixed range basically to gauge volume. It's pretty self-explanatory. Another indicator that I just recently started using is the chop zone indicator. And the chop zone indicator is similar to the volume profile fixed range indicator, but it shows you when market is choppy. It basically tells you these red bars or whatever basically indicate price is going down. I think that the blue bars tell you the price is consolidating or going up. The green bars are a strong indicator that price is going up though. So when you got this chop zone indicator, it's real easy for you to not jump into a choppy market. So those are the 2 indicators that I use. They're pretty easy to use. There's plenty of YouTube tutorials explaining how, you know, they both work. And if you use them in conjunction with the ORB method, you really don't have any excuses for like why your accounts are getting blown, or why you're not taking winning trades, and why you're not being patient and waiting for the right entries. I always tell my students that when you use the ORB method in conjunction with another strategy, such as support and resistance or supply and demand zones, which is basically support and resistance, if you use it in conjunction with those two strategies, I'll say that equals profitability. Because when you see price building up a base, basically consolidating or staying within a range, and use the ORB method with supply and demand or support and resistance, it'll be easier for you to either catch those rallies, which means price is going up, or catch those drops when price is going down. You really don't need to use a whole lot of different things. Like I always say, when it comes to trading, you really just want to make it simple, so you don't need both of these indicators. You really don't need to use support and resistance or supply and demand with the ORB method. I say the simpler your strategy is, the better. But it's just something that I'll do to kind of give me like a stronger, I would say, level of confidence when I take a trade. But simple is always better. The ORB method is very simple. It is not complex. It's real easy to understand. But I like to normally either use one contract or two contracts to try to get a 1-to-2 ratio, which means I'm risking $500 to make $1,000. Sometimes I might risk $500 to make $1,500. Obviously, to pass in 2 days, you would have to make $1,500. So, but it's a very simple strategy, and I'm gonna tell you guys, it doesn't work 100% of the time, but it does work most of the time. And like I said, it tells you when not to take trades. If you see price ranging like it is here, this was Friday. I wasn't expecting any volume on the 4th of July. But this is how it was looking Friday, and you see price stayed in that range until the market closed. So it was a good day to not take a trade versus the 3rd. And if you look at this opening range, price pretty much showed that it was going to be bullish and pre-market. It had a base. Like I said, it built a base. It consolidated. Then it had a little bit of a rally. Now, this was the opening low, and this was the opening high. So price pretty much pushed past here, and then this was the candle that pretty much closed above the open, the high point of the open rather. And then it pretty much just rallied up, and we were able to catch this move. And then I was able to actually get my next funded account. I think it was somewhere around like 80 ticks or 70 ticks. So if you're trading NQ and you trade in minis, that's about 1,000. But I had two contracts, so I ended up catching 1,500. It's a pretty effective strategy, and the method for me personally has made me an even more profitable day trader. So if you want to pick up a strategy or add something to your arsenal, I recommend using the opening range breakout method. If y'all need more help and more explanations on the strategy, just let me know. Make sure y'all drop a comment in the comment section, and I'll get back to y'all with some more videos, man. Y'all be smooth. I just wanted to direct y'all to the Discord because this is where I give my signals, and this is where I also trade live. If you look, I'm posting my wins. This is my most recent combine that I passed, just showcasing like the trades that I've been taking have actually been leading to me getting to express funded accounts. And here's some of my members and students showing off their W's. I got one guy in my Discord that's like $80 away from being funded, like literally $80, $75 away from being funded. Shout out to him. Other students telling me that they've been getting W's. These what my call outs have been looking like, and that's what the profit was for the last trading day. I think our last trading day was Thursday, the day before the 4th of July. So, you know, I've been giving out W's left and right. I got people that have literally got their first payout from my call outs. Deshawn made a couple $100. Unique showing me she made $1,300 off my call outs. Here's another one of my members just let me know that he ended up getting his first payout. Said he blown over 10 funded accounts, 10 challenges, and I helped him get his first payout. over $3,000. Click the link in the description if you need any help with your trading journey. I am giving out live call outs, live signals, and I'm doing live trading sessions. I will eventually move to a paid Discord, but for now it's free. And anybody that joins before I convert to a paid Discord, you're going to end up getting a forever discount. So I won't be taxing. It's definitely not going to cost you an arm and a leg to join the Discord. But the link is there in the description if you do need help. So make sure that y'all join up. All right, be smooth.